months, we now have our new caravan.
Yep.
Picked it up a few days ago. So the last few days have been a bit manic. Dion's been setting up the new van by installing diesel heaters and shelving and all the things that were just too expensive to get the caravan manufacturer.
Battery.
Yeah, another battery. Anyway. And I have been stripping everything out of this van, trying to reduce some weight. So anything we haven't used while we've been gone, we've been turfing and cleaning.
And throwing out a lot of the junk we've accumulated over the last 3 months of just sitting here.
Yeah, just waiting for the van. So we have been in this van since April. No, yes, April.
Yeah, it was start of April.
So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yes, we've been in this van since April, so 8 months. So it's been a bit of a journey. So what we thought we'd do is do a bit of a review. I mean, normally you do a 6-month review. This is an 8-month review of living in this particular design of caravan. We haven't really thought through how we're going to do this, just we're doing it. Hudson's asleep, so we've just kind of ducked over.
Yeah, it's been our first real free moment since we got the van.
Yeah, we're pretty tired, to be honest. So, layout? Layout?
This layout
is no good for tall people.
It's definitely no good for tall people, but it has everything you need.
Correct.
And all your basics.
The cupboard space is pretty good for a small van.
Yes. Storage, like under, like your tunnel boot storage, there's not exactly a lot of extra storage spaces in this van. Hence why there's a toolbox on the front and a toolbox on the back of the van, because there was no way you'd fit half the stuff in this van without it.
Not having underbed storage except for one drawer was challenging, because a lot of the time there would be bigger items that you just needed to put somewhere and you needed access to them in the van, and you couldn't do that, so that was a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
But if you wanted a compact van, like this is a 19'6", if you wanted something compact that has everything, it's good. We didn't have any issues with it the whole time. Yeah, so the L-shaped couch wasn't so bad. It was annoying. So Dion always sat on this side, Hudson in the middle, and me over here. So for me to get up, I always had to move the table. So everybody had to stop eating, basically, for me to get up.
Or you're halfway through lifting it to your mouth and the whole bowl just swings out from under you. It's like, all right, well, can't spill now.
Yeah, or...
So Jess wants to get out, and I'm eating dinner. My dinner ends up over there. Hudson starts eating it.
Yeah. If I was working, and I always worked in the corner because it was easier, Hudson would come and sit next to me to have lunch or something, and then he'd decide he was done with lunch and he'd just push the table to move, and so I'm typing and all of a sudden my computer's over there. So having one entry to the table when rather than 2 entries was a little challenging, but
yeah,
it wasn't the end of the world either.
No. It was, yeah. It's doable in a small family.
Yeah.
If you had a double bunk with 2 kids or a triple bunk, you would not fit 5 people in this sort of family.
No, you'd need stools, or you just eat outside.
Or you'd have the kids eat first and then you eat after. There's no way you could fit a full family of 5 at one of these tables.
No. So the bed, east-west bed, if you want an east-west bed and you're wondering how that goes, so we've slept on an east-west bed for 8 months now. It wasn't that bad, but I didn't like it, to put it simply. So we are tall people. We referenced this in our van tour video. So yeah. Dion's 185 centimetres and I'm 175 centimetres. So Dion could not sleep on the wall side of the van because he couldn't stretch out.
Yeah, my feet would be touching one wall and my head would be touching the other end, and I'd still be sort of bent to fit in there.
I could lie down but my feet would rest on the cupboard. So that seems okay, except through the night I would constantly wake up and my feet were kind of curved around near Dion so that I had more room. So he, for 8 months, didn't have a whole lot of foot room. And because I predominantly get up through the night with Hudson, that was hard because it wasn't just if he woke up upset. It would wake Dion up. It would wake Dion up when I had to climb over him to get out of bed, because the little half walkway thing at the front of the bed, that
You used to climb over my feet to get to it anyway.
Yeah, it's...
But, yeah. In the end, I'd hear Hudson wake up, I'd just curl into a ball, pull my feet up out of the way so Jess could get off. And I'd just stay in a ball until she came back to bed.
If he was of an age where he didn't ever wake up at night, like, granted he doesn't wake up much, but if he has, like, a bad night for whatever reason and he's up 2 or 3 times, it gets quite frustrating having to constantly, because then I feel bad because then I'm waking him up even though he's awake anyway. Yeah, anyway, if you've got young kids and you're tall, it's a challenging bed setup. It's doable. We did it for 8 months.
I would not do it again though.
But yeah, if we had a choice, there's no way we'd ever have an east-west bed again. Just no. We've seen some vans now and they make them without the cupboard.
Yeah.
So the mattress goes from one end of the bed to the other. That might be better because you might be able to scoot, like go to the end of the bed and scoot around someone's feet, but
Not even that. If longer I'd sleep on the other side and you could have the...
Yeah, we just swap sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically if you're tall, it's not a good time, but it is doable if it's money constraints or size constraints or whatever means you're looking at an east-west bed, you can get away with it. It's not the end of the world.
Yes.
Yeah. What else?
Configuration. So this van has the ensuite and bunks at the back.
Yes.
So you've got a narrow walkway.
Which is how most I reckon 90% of bunk vans
It is.
have the bathroom and the bunks opposite.
After being in this one though, I understand why a lot of people go to the sliding doors or the concertina doors for the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because when you go to get in the bathroom, if you're on the wrong side of the door when you open it, you cannot get out.
No,
you cannot get in, you cannot get out.
No.
So if you're on the wrong side of the shower when you open it up, get your towel, you can't get past. Let's do the corner. Or if the door is shut, it's just likes to have the door shut, like the gap there between the door shut and the actual door up on the other side.
Case in point. Yeah.
Definitely not a 2-person van.
So if Hudson's asleep and this door is shut.
Yep, we keep it shut for him. So that's shut. You try and open the door while you're here. You don't fit.
Yeah.
Like I'm half hanging out the door at the moment.
Shut the door properly.
Shut the door properly.
Shut the door properly.
Okay.
So the door's now shut.
Now me trying to get through. That is trying to get past the door.
Because there's this much room.
Would not recommend.
Yeah.
So realistically, you fold it back past, then come past it.
So yeah, don't get a glass door. Get one of those concertina doors.
They don't get the sound out, but doesn't matter if someone hears you singing in the shower.
And if that's really the only area the kids have to play on the floor next to the beds, if you don't want them under your feet while you're cooking, or they're not on your bed for whatever reason. So if you want to go into the bathroom, you have to open the door. So the kids have to move, the toys have to move, because the door, there's no step up. It's all flat flooring. So the toys get in the way, the kids get in the way.
Yeah.
It's tight. Again, not the end of the world. Would we do it again? No.
No.
Personally, we like it to be not so squishy.
Just open plan where there's nothing in the way.
Yeah, so you'll see that in our van video when we show you the layout we've picked.
Yes.
Now, the ensuite, alright, there's always, do we get an ensuite, do you get a combo? There's that debate constantly.
Yeah, there's always a trade-off.
There is a trade-off. Now, we've got an ensuite in this van, and again, might just be because we're taller people with longer limbs, but it's squishy, it's pokey. There's enough room to shower in there and whatnot, but trying to dry yourself in that bathroom is hard.
In the shower wise, so there is enough room for me to turn around in here, but when you try to dry your back, you try and reach from corner to corner to try and reach your back, your arms are already outside.
You're coming out, and then if you were to step out of the shower, because most people would step out of the shower to clean themselves, to dry themselves, then you're...
Do the same thing. Like, well, definitely not made for a 6-foot person.
No, not at all.
There's a fly in there.
So yeah, it's
definitely a pokey little van, but
yeah, I mean it does the job.
That's it. Yeah, you really need to open the door and then swing an arm outside the door just to try and dry your back, or swing a towel around.
Dion struggled with that a bit more than me.
Yeah.
You're constantly hitting your arms on the walls. I mean, you get used to it. Again, it's fine. Nothing about this van we hate. You know, if we had the choice of not travelling or travelling in this van, they were the only options, we would go in this van. Yeah,
every day.
Yeah, but, you know, for us, we just, you know, we have different preferences. We have noticed when we went to that caravan show, there are so many bunk layouts now that didn't exist when we ordered. And if you want a bunk van, I would 100% recommend not just going for the standard bunks and bathroom. Look at different layouts because they make a massive difference. And now we're walking between our van and this van, and it feels very confining when you get into this van because of just the layout basically.
It just feels like you walk in and you're confronted with a couch, a bed and a hallway, and that's all the space you have in this van.
The other issue, well, again, something that we didn't love about this van is that the bed and the couch are right next to each other. So there were some times where Dion would go to bed, for example, like when he was working, and he'd go to bed early, and I would start watching TV. So I would be sitting on the couch, which was like 30 centimetres from him, and I'm trying to watch TV or eat snacks or do whatever I'm doing, and he's 30 centimetres, like we're literally this close, but he's sleeping and I'm up. And, you know, that's a bit weird. Because every time you get up, you're making noises, and the couch is creaking, and, you know, it's right in his ear. He never complained, granted.
That's van life.
But it is van life, but I just think without having the couch right next to that bed, a bit of separation would be good.
Yeah.
So, let's do some good things, because we've talked a lot about bad things.
Good things.
Good things.
So it has a lot of boot storage.
Yes.
I do like the one thing I wish I did do on the new van was an extended drawbar with the toolbox.
Yeah, we didn't think it was really necessary, but after having this van, the toolbox at the front is brilliant because all of your wet or dirty gear or just larger gear, you shove it in the toolbox, and especially if you've got a dog travelling with you, all of their stuff you can just shove into the toolbox, and it just keeps it away from your living areas. Because I don't know, the tunnel boots, they have the nice, you know, the nice flooring and stuff. You don't want to dirty it.
No.
So it's nice to have a spot. So we might have to chuck a toolbox on our van to help with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've said good storage. Like we had no trouble. We had no trouble keeping it. Everything where it needed to be. The kitchen in this is really good.
It's a good amount of bench space.
Good amount of bench space. And it flows really nicely. Like all the cupboards and drawers kind of work for where you would put things. So it doesn't feel so bad having a tiny kitchen with this layout. So we'll, just forgive the messy van because we're moving. So it's a bit all over the place, but it's mostly clean.
I don't honestly say it's cleaner than it normally is. Because there's less stuff in the van.
There's no clutter. There's no clutter. Because we did when you stay in one spot too long, you do start to accumulate stuff.
You do.
So we had to get rid of it all because you you don't need it. And it was actually interesting because we had moved about half the stuff over and we were sitting there going, but what else do we need? And then we'd come in here, oh, we need that, we need that, we need that. But when we were in the other van without the stuff, we didn't need the stuff, did we?
No.
So it's an interesting mindset. The fridge, so the 3-way fridge, we don't really rate.
No, it frosts up a lot.
It did the job.
Yeah, it did.
But they take like 2 days to get cold.
And they chew through gas too.
Yeah, they do.
Off-grid, you're lucky to get 7 days out of a bottle. And, well, it's running the fridge all the time, cooking, hot water. You run through the gas really quick with a 3-way fridge.
Yeah. So, I mean, the newer ones might be better. This is a 6-year-old van.
Yeah.
So if you have a new van and you're saying, no, my 3-way fridge is fine, it may be better because the technology's changed. But we didn't love the 3-way.
No.
It did get colder than I thought it would. Not as cold as a compressor fridge.
No.
But
that could also be because of how much it frosted
well,
up.
it constantly frosted up, and the thing is, it's really hard to defrost it because it takes hours and hours to defrost, and we had nowhere else to put all our cold stuff, so that made it difficult. We had to wait until we had eaten our food down a bit and try and shove it into the car fridge.
Or we're at a caravan park where we can actually run the fridge all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, the gas would be just, you'd be chewing through the gas trying to bring it all back down to temperature again.
I really thought you needed an oven, but if you've never used a caravan oven before, you might not be aware that they're not like an oven at home. And if you have caravans, you're going to laugh and think, how did they not know that? But they're a gas oven, so they're heated by a line of flames at the back. And there's basically no temperature control. The flames just can be turned up or down. So it's basically like just an inside Ziggy, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
And everything takes a long time to cook, and I found things weren't getting crispy, so if you tried to cook sausage rolls, they just didn't get crispy. Again, could be old technology. I've seen now a lot of the vans have fan-forced ovens, so that might make a difference, but yeah, we didn't rate the oven at all. If you got the choice between an oven and a pot drawer, get the pot drawer, especially if you have a Ziggy or a Weber, because in all honesty, like, I use the oven a lot, and I don't like the ovens in caravans. They're too finicky. And I didn't realise that. I was a bit naive, I think, but...
Yeah, you live and learn.
You do.
What else?
Well, pretty much how did the Golden Child perform? So this is a van that has been a loan van for a while. I think it gets used for promotions, and there were some people in it before us that were also delayed in a van, so it's not had, I'd say, an easy life.
No.
But it performed fine, didn't it?
Yeah, like we went to the Cape in it, and
we did no preparation for the Cape, so we didn't do, the pool noodles underneath it. We literally just put some cereal boxes on the vents because it doesn't have a dust suppression system. So we taped that on, and we just went, and it was fine.
Yeah.
The only issue we had was one of the
drain taps.
One of the drain taps snapped off. A rock hit that, so Dion just repaired that.
Yeah. And just got a bolt, stuck it in the hole that was there. And when we got to town, chucked a new valve on it, and it's fine again.
Yeah, and it was fine, but it was fine. We weren't getting anywhere and having things, drawers flown open or anything. Probably the worst thing was this table. It needs adjusting if you... it's loose. Gonna lose the camera. And the little adjuster clips underneath it came out every time we drove.
Yeah.
Didn't matter how tight I did them up, they came out.
But it's not a big thing.
But, that's all that's happening. I've seen so many videos of people going up the Cape and their vans just fall apart. And this did great, so we definitely cannot fault the performance of the van.
Coils definitely help. If we had airbags, I'd be even happier.
Yeah.
But yeah, coils compared to leaf sprung, it is a much smoother ride. This van would ride smoother than our car because we've got leaf springs in the back. But no, just our general view on it. Like, would you use this van again if you had the chance, or?
If we had this or nothing, I would take this. If someone said to me, do you rate this van? I want to buy it. Is there anything I should be aware of? I'd say buy it.
Yeah.
I'd probably just say get an inverter. It's probably the one thing it's really missing, isn't it? Like, it was super annoying to try and be off-grid and not have an inverter.
Yeah. I don't know if you would go an inverter with this, because you'd need more solar to run the inverter. And you need more batteries to store the solar.
Okay, so get it, but upgrade your power system if you can afford it. It is expensive. I mean,
it's cheaper if you do it yourself.
It is. It's fine the way it is. But if you want me to say something if we both say something that we think this van needs to be improved on for us to be happier in it, I would say the power system, because something like, and it's going to sound so silly, but when you live full time in your van, when we were up north and it was cold, it was winter, and it was 10 o'clock at night and I just wanted a hot chocolate, right? Because that's what you do at night time. Because there's no inverter in the van and our hot chocolate maker is 240 volt plug-in, I would have to go out to the car and stand outside in the freezing cold and plug the hot chocolate maker into the inverter the car had to make the hot chocolate, and then come back inside.
Or she'd send me outside, plug the caravan into the car, just so she could make hot chocolate inside the van.
All that, because it was cold. It was cold. I mean, you don't have to make hot chocolates.
No.
But when you live when you live in the van full time, it's a bit different because it's not just a weekend. What about you? What's your thing that would make this better? Because just keep in mind, this is a stock standard, how it rolls off the factory floor van. Like, there's nothing has been done to it that I can really tell. Wow, can't think of anything, okay? Or you just...
I'd get it GVM upgraded.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Having 3500 GVM on this, or ATM, would make it a lot better for travelling, because you'd have an extra 200 kilos carry capacity, and you could travel with full tanks and extra food and this and that, and not have to worry that you're overweight.
Now, we got professionally weighed before we left, so you can check out our previous videos if you want to see that. So we travelled completely legal. However, Dion did have to leave his beloved tinny behind to be legal. So he was cursing the lower GVM the whole time we were gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a consideration. And we have a cruiser, so we have one of the highest payloads available, unless you want to go to, a Ram or something.
Or a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the car crowd, it's almost as good as you can get.
No. The Y62s and the 200s can take an extra 200 kilos. But they also weigh more. Cab chassis wise, we're lighter. Unless you're going to spend, $40,000-$50,000 getting it cut down into a ute, and then,
We don't have that kind of money.
No, it just won't let me spend it.
We don't, and I'm not putting us into debt to do it. It's not happening. So, we are travelling on a budget, and everything we do, we've just saved our asses off for years. Yeah. So, I think that's it. Yeah. It performed well. Not for us. However, it's nice to have been in this van and know that we've made the right choice with the layout we've picked.
Yeah.
Because we love it so much more. So much more.
I would not pick this layout again if I had the choice.
No. But yeah, we'll give this van back in the next couple of days. And then we'll be off again full time in our new van.
Yeah. What do? We get weighed in 2 days?
Days at Monday, 3 days on Thursday. So on Thursday we'll get weighed to make sure we're all legal, because we want to be safe for us, for our family, and also for everyone else on the road. It's really not expensive to get weighed, and we really recommend if you're out on the road and you haven't been weighed, or you're thinking about going, put getting weighed on your list. It can make a big difference to how the van handles.
It does.
Yeah, so please just go get weighed. It's for everyone's safety, and also your insurance is void if you're overweight. So, and they're out there checking now.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing random pullovers, and it's probably cheaper to be weighed and know you're right before you leave than to get caught out and have your van smashed up and no insurance or cop a fine. Yeah. One thing that's annoying is if you are sleeping on this side of the bed, that's all you've got for storage, and you don't have 12 volt. You only have 240. So, but over on this side, you get 12 volt. So, yeah, charging your phone when you're off grid overnight is impossible. We had to get a massively long cord.
Yeah, we got a 1.5 meter cable.
Yep.
That ran up over the windowsill and back down.
so that my phone wasn't flat when we woke up. Yeah, so that was probably not thought out very well when the van was designed. So if you're getting it, I would just get an extra 12 volt put in there.
Yeah, other than that,
yeah,
it's been a good van. I'd definitely take up the cap again.
Yeah, yeah. We're definitely happy to be giving it back and getting our van, but you know what? It's been home for 8 months, and it's done what it needed to do. At the end of the day, which is what matters.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about getting this van, go ahead. It's fine. But yeah, if you are going to live in it full time and you're tall, I'd probably go something a little bit bigger. If your weights and everything will afford that. Yeah, anyway, well, that's the end of this video. Not sure how informative it was, but anyway. And we'll see you next week. And I don't even know what next week's video is going to be. Maybe
the new van walkthrough.
Maybe the new van walkthrough. I'll see how we're going. We are so far behind, I can't even really remember where we're up to. We will, but I just honestly have not had time. It is so time consuming. When people say it takes 6 to 8 hours, sometimes minimum, to make a YouTube video, they're not wrong. And we're not doing this to be rich and famous.
No.
We're literally doing it so that Hudson can look back when he's older and see what we did. So, yeah, like and subscribe, as they say. Thanks for all your support. We're actually kind of blown away that we have as many subscribers as we do, which is not many in the grand scheme of things, but
it's more than we expected in the start.
Yeah, so it's kind of gives you a little bit of motivation to keep going. But yeah, like, subscribe. We'll have some more content. Yeah, leave us comments. We love talking to you guys, so leave us a comment. So, well, I mean, I'll reply to you. Dion doesn't really do computers that much.
No, just tell me about every one of them though.
But I do. I tell him about every single comment. So yeah, keep those coming. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Anyway.
Here's what it is.
Here's what it is. See you
next
time.
Week.
Bye.